Hello, what's going on YouTube? This is J Money here, and I'm bringing you guys that combo tutorial that I was talking to you guys about on the last video regarding just how strong the normal summon of predaplant Scorpio is and how viable this combo really is with the introduction of Isolde, Two Tails of the Noble Knights, and Scoldite. Any deck that is playing Invoker already or playing a predaplant engine already should probably integrate into this set combo. I came up with this combo yesterday before I decided to go to Sneak Peek. I was tinkering around with windups and the new cards, and I came up with this combo by accident, and I played it a few times to figure out just how consistent this combo is and what all you need. And really all you need is a predaplant Scorpio in your hand, and if your deck is playing quite a few Earths or enough Earth targets in it that aren't warriors, then this is a perfect combo. So unfortunately with decks like Goki that are strictly all warriors, it sucks for them. If they weren't all warriors, this would be like the perfect combo for them. But there are 3 proxies in this deck, because I don't have them and I plan to get them on Saturday with the UDS qualifiers that I plan to go to. The Allure of Darkness are going to be Cursed Bamboo Swords, Broken Bamboo Sword is the Terraforming, and Aeris Rock Sunrise is going to be Golden Bamboo Sword. Now, for those of you who don't know what the sword, the Bamboo Sword package does, this is why Isolde is good. The Cursed Bamboo Swords, when they're sent to the graveyard, you can add any Bamboo Sword card from your deck to your hand, and you can use that as many times as you want. Broken Bamboo Sword is just an equip card that just makes the equipped monster gain no attack, and it has no value, but the real value is in the Golden Bamboo Sword. When you control an equipped Bamboo Sword on the field, you just draw 2 cards for no reason. And so with this combo, it requires a lot of these cards for going first, and a little bit more cards going second, but the ceiling is much higher if you're going second. You're going to need a copy of Scoldite or Saryuja Scoldred. You're going to need Isolde, Two Tails of the Noble Knights. You're going to need, your Brilliant Fusion engine. And you're going to need a Curios, the Dominion of the Lightsworn. And so let's get started. Let's go ahead and just draw ourselves like 2 random cards just to fill up our hand. Well, let's see what they are. Okay, so we already drew in the Brilliant Fusion, and this Aeris Rock Sunrise is actually even better because generally you can draw 2 cards with this combo, but if you draw any of the other swords, if you draw any of the other Bamboo Swords, you can draw 4 cards. So we're going to start off, we're going to take the Brilliant Fusion away because we actually need a monster, and generally this wouldn't be a problem because most decks now are really monster heavy. So we're going to start with a predaplant Scorpio. We're going to use the effect. We're going to go and discard. We're going to summon our Cobra now, and we're going to dig out the Brilliant Fusion. This is really why I only play 1 Brilliant Fusion, because any predaplant engine, really, I just choose to play 1 just because I'd rather dig it out than to draw into it and have a dead, useless predaplant engine. And it gives me more room for more key cards in the deck. But somehow I still managed to draw the 1 Brilliant Fusion. But for demonstration purposes, we are not going to do that. We're going to overlay, and we're going to make our Invoker. We're going to detach. We are going to go ahead and play our Thousand Blades, if I can find them. Now from here, you normally would go into Mrs. Radiant, but since we have Isolde, Two Tails of the Noble Knights, and both of these are warriors, we can now go into Isolde, Two Tails of the Noble Knights instead, which is a little bit better. Now if you're playing a deck like lightsworn, because they play a lot of warriors too, and they can also abuse this combo because they do play a few earth monsters, things like Glow Bulb and all that good stuff. Once you summon it, if you have like BLS or something in your deck, you can go ahead and add it. But it's really not needed. What you really want is the second effect to send 2 equipped cards. So I'm sending a Cursed Bamboo and a regular Bamboo Sword. And what it does is you can send 2 equipped cards from the deck to the grave with different names to summon a warrior from the deck whose level is equal to the amount of equipped cards you sent to the graveyard. So our target for this one is going to be our TG Striker. We're going to summon TG Striker in defense. Now, it's important that your level 2 warrior is a tuner, and you have to make sure that it is an earth monster. So that new Secret 6 Sam probably won't cut it. So that does kind of suck, and this is exactly why it is not recommended for your other earth target to be warrior, because you already have a warrior on the board. So now, with our Cursed Bamboo Sword, we're going to go ahead and add us a golden bamboo sword to our hand. Now again, since we already have a sword in our hand, we are able to draw 4 cards off of this combo. There's about 4 different ways you can take this combo depending on what you want to do, which also makes this combo really, really good, because generally most of these combos are linear, but with this one there's so many different directions you can go. Now we're going to go and activate Brilliant Fusion, and we are going to send our Lapis. I chose Lapis because it's a level 3 target, and sometimes you can draw into Brilliant Fusion like I did, and I had, you know, Gallus, a Star Beast, and some other things, but really, as long as you can go into Invoker, if you have Brilliant Fusion in hand, as long as you can make Invoker, you can execute the combo the same way. So maybe playing 3 Brilliant Fusion isn't all that bad, in case predaplant Scorpio gets stopped, and you have things like Gallus that can give you an extra special. So Tricklon's going to go off, we're going to summon, and Thousand Blades we're going to summon. Now, again, most decks are monster heavy, but you do in fact need another monster to summon, so you don't use these 2 to summon Scoldy. We are going to use our 4 with different names, and we are going to summon our Scoldy. Now, generally I don't have to worry, because the 4 cards I'm generally drawing, one of them is probably going to be an Earth if I don't already have one in the hand, which generally I will almost always have one in the hand. And we're going to go into bottom deck, and bottom deck, because we don't need them. And now we're going to use our Scoldy special summon for the set Earth monster that you need that isn't a warrior. So now we have a, you know, Windups is just a demonstration. You don't need to do this, but, you know, I'm just playing it out as if I go, as if I'm actually playing. But since we have 3 with different, the same attribute but different types, we can now go into our Curios Lightsworn Dominion. Now from there, we can send another Cursed Bamboo Sword to the graveyard to add ourselves a regular bamboo sword. This is one way we can, this is one way to play out the combo. And then of course Curios is going to go ahead and mill us 3 cards to the graveyard. And so, you know, it's okay. But really, this is one really solid combo. You play your regular broken sword, and you play both, and you're just going to draw 4 cards for no reason at all. You have a full hand, you have a Curios, a Saryuja Skull Dread, and other things. Now, let's say you don't, let's say you open any one of these swords and you only want to draw 2, well, what else can you do? So, if you open one of these swords, you can send the Cursed Bamboo Sword and search out your golden, or your other sword if you already have golden in hand, and you can be fine with the draw 2, but what would I want to dump for Curios? Well, it's out of my deck, but here it is. But really with Curios, what you can do is you can sell for a draw 2, but you can go ahead and send Dandelion to the graveyard, and then Dandelion will go ahead and net you 2 tokens, like so, and then you can proceed to make a Firewall Dragon with the Curios or whatnot, or it's better to link with the token under here, so you can actually have Firewall co-linked. Now, if you don't have a way to special summon another monster, you officially, you know, have 4 cards in your hand, a Skull Dread, and a co-link Firewall off of just the predaplant Scorpio by itself. But if you do have other ways to special summon a monster, you can literally dump out your whole hand and make a really, really stupid board. Now, there is in fact another way to play out this if you're going second. Now, I'm going to go rewind a little bit and put these back. And I'm going to have the Seraphonite, you know, the Scoldy's still going to be there. and our Earth monster is still going to be here, but we're going to keep it like this. Now let's say you don't. There's other things you want to do. Well, the reason why I chose for this to be a tuner is because you can now sync for 7. You can either sing in a Black Rose Moonlight Dragon, or you can do what I love to go into, and that is Yazi, the Evil of the Yang Zing. Now Yazi can activate this effect to nuke itself to destroy a card on their board, and then you can use the effect to special summon a Mare. Now sometimes you're in a situation where you have quite a bit of Earth monsters already, and you let's say this Earth monster is still here, and you activate Mare's effect, and you special summon your 3 tokens, like so. You're going to special, and special. Oh, no, it's supposed to be over here. Special 3 tokens. From here, you can do all sorts of things. You can sync into a DeLorean to reset things depending on what deck you're playing. If you're playing like Metal Foes or Pendulums or something like that, DeLorean can bounce you a bunch of cards. I plan to play it in windups, but anyway, you can do that. You can link one of these into a Link Spider, and let's say you have a way to put another Earth monster on the board. Well, what you can do from here is you can go ahead and link away these. You can go and summon a Proxy Dragon, whatever. You know, I'll go ahead and break that out too. But if there's a way to get another Earth monster on the board, let's say, I mean, in this situation, warriors are actually allowed, then you can still link into your Curios if you still can. It happens a couple of times, but most of the time you want to save your Link Spider in case you are low on Earth monsters, and this is the perfect way to achieve another attribute with a different type. And you can still go into your Curios, dump your Dandelion, get your 2 tokens, you know, make your firewall off of these 2 tokens and this, and proceed with plays there. So guys, that is it for the combo tutorial. It's not necessarily a tutorial, but it shows. And if you don't have another way to summon an Earth monster or whatever, Skuldred is also an Earth monster. So if you really want to, if you absolutely need to get the Curio summon, you can use the Skuldred as well. So I mean, I choose to try to get other monsters on the board first before using Skuldred, but sometimes you need to. That is depending on what your deck strategy might be. So guys, that is it for the tutorial regarding predaplant Scorpio. Again, you're going to need a copy of any Earth Tuner. It could be Kagemusha the 6th Sam, but I choose CG Striker because you can special it. You're going to need some sort of Earth Tuner that's level 2 that you can summon from the deck. With Isolde, you're going to need a Bamboo Sword package. You're going to need, obviously, your predaplant engine, and you're going to need an Earth monster that is not a warrior. So any Earth decks, like if you're playing Zodiac engines or whatever, that's really good. And you're going to need a copy of Curios. You're going to need a copy of Yazi if you choose to go second. I'd much rather play this if I'm going second. Because not only do, I mean, I could choose to try to go into a Curios, or I can just make instant firewalls or anything else that I choose for the time being. You're going to need a copy of Isolde, 2 Tales of the Noble Knights, and you are going to need a Skuldred. You know, obviously your predaplant engine is going to take these 2 cards anyway, so that should be a given. And also, if you are considering playing Yazi, I mean, obviously you're going to have like Link Spiders. I mean, sometimes it's not always good to have all Link Karibos in your extra deck. Sometimes the Link Spider is really important, especially in this case. So guys, thank you very much. This is I really like this combo. I mean, don't get me wrong, if your predaplant Scorpio gets hit by an Ash Blossom and you don't have another way to special summon a level 3, then you're kind of out of luck. So I mean, but that's the risk of any predaplant engine. We're all aware that predaplant Scorpio has always been susceptible to ash blossom, but if somebody is too poor, you know, pardon if they are, or if they aren't, or if, you know, they just don't have the ash blossom in their hand, then you are looking at a very, very, very strong combo. And really all it takes is one card if you're playing it in the right deck. If you're playing, you know, a deck that's playing quite a few earth monsters, again, really all you need to do is draw into a predaplant Scorpio. Now, there is something else that I want to mention. Now, what if you don't draw into one of your swords? Well, very, very quickly, you take your Scorpio and you summon your Cobra. If you don't, this is why I like this combo so much, because you don't even need to draw any of your swords, and you can still at least get the draw too. But it will sacrifice a Curios though. And we're going to get our Brilliant Fusion, summon our Thousand Blades. Alright. Thousand Blades, where you at? Where you at, buddy? There you are. You know, you're going to go into your zone still. And you're still going to dump 2 to summon out your TG Striker. You're going to dump, you know, your regular and your Cursed, and you're going to use Cursed to search gold, of course. Okay, we're going to need a monster on our hand to summon, and we're going to still need that Earth monster. So we're taking this Earth monster, and we're going to go and activate Brilliant. And we're Centric Clown, and we are going to send our Lapis. And we're going to summon our Seraphinite. Bam. Trick Clown. Bam. Thousand Blades. Bam. Seraphinite's going to give us our extra normal. Still leaking to our Skull Deep. Now, generally, I mean, if you draw into a sword off a Skull Deep, that's pretty broken, but sometimes you might not be able to draw into it, you know, so, you know, we're going to go ahead and bomb deck out 3 now. Now what do you do from here? You're going to special your Earth monster, and then you're just going to link away into a Curios. Now Curios can send any card to the graveyard, keep that in mind. So you can send another Cursed Bamboo Sword, which will search you a regular. So now, if you don't open any swords, you can draw 2 cards. Just like that. All off of because you resolved a predaplant Scorpio, you were able to execute a combo as such. Now again, I wouldn't recommend playing this in a deck like Goki or any other deck with a lot of Earths, or even enough number of Earths that are primarily warrior. I wouldn't recommend it because TG Striker is a warrior and you need different types to go into Curios. So that is it, guys. You leave me some feedback. Do you guys see something else that I could have done with this combo? I think I've demonstrated about 4 different ways this combo can go. There could be other avenues that I haven't explored. I will have to check in on that. I'll have to do some more testing and see what else I can do with this combo, but you know, again, it is still fragile because hand traps are a thing, but if it resolves, it is valuable, true value. So guys, thank you guys very much for watching, and this is J Money, and I'm signing out.